Hello, I'm Katie. Welcome to my podcast. We're going to go through some of the headlines that I have noticed in the news recently. You're currently looking at my Substack. This is where I post all sorts of things that pique my interest. So, should you wish, you can visit it in the comments of this video. But the stories that we're going to discuss today that have recently been in the news. Let's see. Last time I reported on the protests outside a hotel in Essex that was housing immigrants. This is why there was protests, because an immigrant, this man here, was accused of assaulting a man and a woman. Well, said man has now been found guilty of sexually targeting teenage girls over 2 days during the summer. He was convicted of 5 offences: attempted sexual assault of a child, inciting a child to engage in sexual activity, 2 counts of sexual assault and harassment. The victims included a 14-year-old girl and another young woman. He tried to kiss one of them. He asked them back to his hotel to make babies. And all of this has been caught on CCTV. He's got no known criminal record, but the court treated him as being of good character. Do you know how long he got? 8 months. This person got 8 months for sexually assaulting children. I believe the UK government are looking into deporting him, and I hope they do, because whilst 8 months is not long enough, in my opinion, I don't want him in this country. He came into our home and abused it, basically. And fun fact, in the UK, cutting down a tree will get you more time in prison than assaulting teenage girls. I'm not joking. Go and find my article about the sycamore gap tree? Something like that. Where is it? Let's see. Oh, I'm already off on a tangent. There we go. Excuse me. See? 4 years, 3 months for felling the sycamore gap tree. And yet you assault 2 young girls and you get 8 months, maybe. Because he'll probably be out early with good behaviour. Hopefully, though, he will be sent back home. In other news, starting off strong, might as well get myself cancelled or blocked or whatever. This is infuriating. Nicola Sturgeon, who, let's face it, wanted to allow men into women's spaces, has come out and said that women like Sandy Peggy and Maria Kelly are brave to fight over human rights. Now, if you don't know, there has been employment tribunals in regards to Sandy Peggy and Maria Kelly. Well, it's thanks to Nicola Sturgeon that men are allowed in women's spaces. And she has now come out and said that Sandy Peggy is brave. Sturgeon, if it weren't for you, Sandy Peggy wouldn't need to be going to court in order to have her rights respected. It's just a disgrace. Nicola Sturgeon has caused more turmoil between women and the trans community than most other people. She's the one that said, trans women are women and women can have penises and all that bollocks, pun intended. And now she's coming out with this. And she's also recently said something about how all the abuse that J.K. Rowling has received, is abhorrent and all that. It's like, bitch, you started it. This is all your fault in the UK. Anyway. So I thought I would bring that one to your attention. If you are interested in any of these articles, they are linked on my social media. So, luckily, Sturgeon's government introduced let me rephrase. Sturgeon introduced the gender recognition reform legislation. Luckily, it was thrown out by Westminster. She wanted to say that anyone with a piece of paper that says they're a woman is legally a woman. She's a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. So that's fun. Speaking of trans activists vandalise feminist conference. I would rephrase that: trans activists vandalise women's conference, because that's what it was. And which they do then go on to say. So this was on the 10th of October, just a couple of days ago. Police have launched an investigation after a venue in Brighton was vandalised ahead of a women's rights conference. And here you can see some of the vandalism. It's not much, but it's enough to be intimidating. Trans activists claimed responsibility for the incident at the Brighton Centre on King's Road in the early hours of Friday. Masked figures were seen in online videos smashing windows and spray painting the building ahead of a 3-day event billed as one of the largest grassroots feminist gatherings in Europe. Activists from Bash Back, which describes itself as a trans-led direct action group, posted a statement saying it was behind the vandalism. The group said it carried out the vandalism because the conference was hosting some of the most vicious transphobia in pop politics and warned of further action. Previous guests at the charity's conference have included J.K. Rowling, who is being called transphobic for her views on gender identity and allowing trans women into women-only spaces. The author retweeted a post on X/Twitter which criticised the vandalism. Event organisations Philia said it is shocking and saddening that a conference for women to discuss domestic abuse, sexual violence and lesbian safety has been met with smashed windows, graffiti and intimidation. Philia CEO Lisa Marie Taylor added that the charity campaigns for a world free from patriarchy where all women and girls are liberated. The activities of a small, violent minority will not diminish the spirit of sisterhood and solidarity which Philia embodies. More than 2,400 people were expected to attend the conference to hear from 250 speakers from around the world. Talks covered a broad spectrum of topics, including anti-racism, women's health, male violence, political organising, lesbian lives, migration and class. Sussex Police have urged anyone who witnessed what happened or has relevant information to get in contact. So this is what happens when women gather to discuss women's issues, all because we refuse to say that women have penises. If you are a repeat reader of my Substack, you will know I have very strong gender critical views. And in other news, let's see this one. We'll do this one. Tommy Robinson, this man here in the middle holding the hat, is to appear in court after failing to provide phone PIN number. I'm reporting on this because I feel it's an abuse of power by the legal system. Your views on Tommy Robinson are irrelevant in this particular case. Far-right agitator Some people call him far right, some people call him far left, some people say he's quite reasonable. Depends who you listen to. If you listen to Tommy Robinson himself, he does sound quite reasonable. We will see. Far-right agitator Tommy Robinson is to appear in court after he was charged with failing to provide police with the PIN to his mobile phone. The 42-year-old, whose real name is Stephen Yakesley Lennon, is to attend the trial at Westminster Magistrates Court on Monday. He was charged after an incident at the Channel Tunnel in Folkestone on July the 28th last year, where he was accused of frustration of police counter-terrorism powers. Under Schedule 7 of the Terrorism Act, police are allowed to stop anyone passing through a UK port to determine whether they may be involved or concerned in the commission, preparation, or instigation of acts of terrorism. The person who is detained can be held for up to 6 hours, is legally obliged to answer questions, and must provide the password or PIN for electronic devices, or be held to have committed a criminal offence if they refuse. And that's it. That's the whole story. I would like to know why they thought Tommy was going to be involved in terrorism. I would like to know that. What reason did the police have to require his phone? Were they legitimate reasons? Because it's scary that the police can ask and require your PIN number to your phone. No. Tommy has come out and said that he refused because there's journalistic integrity information on there. So anonymous sources, for example. That's why he was like, nah, you ain't having my phone or my PIN number to my phone. Which, to be honest, I would be reluctant. I would want to know why, and no, you're not having access to my phone. Here in the UK, we are losing our rights to privacy. We are losing our rights to freedom of speech, and that is why I am reporting on this particular one. Not on Tommy Robinson's views, because again, his views vary depending on what source you read. It's the overreach of the police. It is the overreach of government within our lives, and it is scary, which is why I report on it. It's not right. Full stop. If they want access to his phone, they should have to go through the relevant procedures. We should have the right to say no, and then when we say no, they should have the ability to go to the courts with reasons as to why they want the phone and go from there. You shouldn't be arrested and possibly face up to, I think it was 6 months, 3 to 6 months in prison for not giving over your phone passcode. Again, someone saying, no, I'm not going to give you my mobile phone password could get longer in prison than someone who sexually assaults children. The UK is fucked. Anyhow, speaking of, we're going to end on this one. 2 men charged with prison murder of Lostprophets paedophile Ian Watkins. I am not one who will say violence is a good thing. I will always condemn violence. I have a couple of caveats though, and this is one of them. So, rapists and child killers, yeah, prison justice can do its thing. I have no problem with that. So, Ian Watkins, who was the lead singer of Lostprophets, age 48, was pronounced dead after being seriously assaulted at his Majesty's Prison, Wakefield, on Saturday morning, the 11th of October. So, both of his attackers have been charged with murder. There he is. I'm trying to find. I think it was that one. Killed by a brute who was already serving time for murder after the singer failed to pay protection money. The 48-year-old singer was serving time for a string of child sex offences, including the attempted rape of a baby. If you don't know this story about Watkins, it is horrific. Yeah, I'm to be honest, I'm surprised it's lasted this long. He was severely injured in his cell but could not be saved, with medics pronouncing him dead at the scene. I've got a funny feeling that prison guards were kind of stood on the wing going, no, please, don't hurt him. Please. That is bad. Let's face it, no one gives a crap that he's dead. Is it not going to... Oh, so apparently he was being held on a wing housing the general population rather than just holding sex offenders. And sex offenders do tend to die in prison. A source told The Sun, which is a newspaper, that Watkins was known for paying for his security in jail. He was getting rinsed. Someone would threaten him and he'd pay up. The killer approached him and said, give me money and I'll protect you. No one is then clear why he turned on him and he slit his neck. Watkins was getting no special protection on a wing with killers, gangsters and drug dealers. It put him in extreme danger, and it was as if he knew his time was up. A prison spokesperson previously confirmed that they would make no further comment during the police investigation. Watkins was jailed in 2013 for a series of child sex crimes, including the attempted rape of a fan's baby daughter. He admitted 2 attempted rapes, sexually assaulting a child under 13, aiding and abetting the sexual assault of a child under 13, conspiring to rape a child under 13, and conspiring to sexually assault another child under 13. He also pleaded guilty to 6 counts of taking and possessing indecent images of children and 1 of possessing extreme pornographic images. He had previously been stabbed at the prison in 2023, with reports at the time saying he'd been taken hostage by 3 other inmates. I remember that story. To be honest, I thought that he would die then. So this creep is gone. We no longer have to pay for his imprisonment. And as I've said, I don't normally condone violence, but prison justice in regards to child rapists and child murderers and just rapists in general, sure, fine, not a problem. So those are some of the stories I thought I would tell you about this week. Apologies for my voice. I have been having one cold after another, so my voice is on its way out. Should you wish to follow me on the social medias, that's one to land on, isn't it? I am there. This is one that is about Barbie Kardashian. It's a whole shitstorm. I might do a video on it, podcast, whatever you want to call it. But please go follow me on all the social medias. And this is my Substack. Should you wish to come follow me and read what I write, it does have a little lock because I have put the audio version behind a paywall, but you can still read them for free, apart from the WPath files, which are behind a paywall, because I am actually doing a proper investigation into it. So should you wish to come follow me, all the links are down below. Thank you for listening to me ramble on, and apologies for the voice and apologies for the lack of seeing my beautiful face. Thank you very much. Remember, please like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.